everyone. I'm Betty, and today I'm going to speak about the effects of the future of Mauna Kea and the telescopes on Mauna Kea. A Hawaiian news station from Honolulu informed the residents that since July 15, 2019, 18 protectors chained themselves to the cattle grate on Mauna Kea access road. The protests were designed to protect construction equipment from being brought to the summit of the mountain. Currently, there are Native Hawaiians on the sacred mountain Mauna Kea in Hilo, Hawaii, desperately attempting to prevent the construction of the 30-meter telescope. Also known as the TMT, the telescope that was planned to be built on Mauna Kea will be 9 times larger in area than that of the current largest telescope. However, Mauna Kea is an integral part of Hawaiian culture as it was the first born child of Papa and Wakea. It's considered the piko, navel or center of a beginning or end of Hawaii Island. Hawaiians have faced a deep-rooted injustice and exploitation of their culture since the early 18th century, which gives them the right to defend their island. But despite Native Hawaiians' campaign against the construction of the 30-meter telescope, the important historical cultural significance on sacred land and the historical trauma Hawaii is still facing, the TMT telescope should be built on Mauna Kea, as it will provide job opportunities, economic developments, and benefit current/future generations. Mauna Kea is one of the most valuable parts of Hawaiian culture and traditions. It is a high-shield volcano that is specifically related to the creation story of the islands on Earth. A writer for Honolulu magazine mentions that the most important part of the mountain is the summit, as it is the home of the Na'akua or Na'amakua, which are the divine deities or divine ancestors, as well as the meeting place of Papa and Wakea, the Earth Mother and Sky Father, who are progenitors of the Hawaiian people. It is also both a burial ground and the embodiment of ancestors that include Na'ali and Kahuna, high-ranking chiefs and priests. This small segment of information already reveals why the mountain is so sacred to the natives. We believe that there is no need for people to reach the top of the mountain because of the already existing large presence of spiritual power, mana and Mauna Kea. Even so, dehumanization and the pressure of assimilation in the kingdom of Hawaii had restricted them from practicing their beliefs. Samuel Dole, a leader who advocated for the decrease of sugar tariffs produced in Hawaii, was the primary leader of this oppression. People under the leadership of Samuel Dole believed that if the island was annexed, it would decrease the tariff on sugar, and so, spurred by the nationalism aroused by the Spanish-American War, the United States annexed Hawaii in 1898 at the urging of President William McKinley. This led to many negative effects within the Hawaiian community and changes in their lifestyle/culture up until present day. The community is still on a long road to healing from this generational trauma. Kahola Kua, chair of the medical school's Native Hawaii health department, explains that Mauna Kea has been a catalyst for Native Hawaiians to seek emotional healing in ways that traditional Western interventions don't provide. Native Hawaiians tried their best to preserve their culture as much as possible, and protecting Mauna Kea is a form of that. They want to take control of what belongs to their own people and also embrace their identity while balancing the effects of cultural assimilation. Apart from this, the 30-meter telescope's mission is to address fundamental questions in astronomy ranging from understanding star and planet formations to unraveling the history of the galaxies and the development of large-scale structure in the universe. They chose Mauna Kea as the ideal location for the telescope to live because it is at the optimal atmosphere and altitude for viewing stars. In addition, it is only one of 3 new giant telescopes that are currently planned for under construction in the Northern Hemisphere. The telescope would reach many lengths to support the future of Hawaii greatly. Even though painful generational trauma is still currently a prevalent issue in Native Hawaiians' lives, the 30-meter telescope highlights what Hawaiians value while also fulfilling their requirements when building this space-driven scope. The organization has held numerous meetings and events with Native Hawaiian groups. The TMT team had led over 20 public meetings, provided opportunities for community feedback, and participated in one-on-one meetings. Community outreach is essential when building structures on sacred land. The TNT team has communicated clearly with Biro people and discussed what factors needed to be implemented. According to a Hawaii poll commissioned by the Honolulu Star Advertiser in March 2018, found that 72% of Native Hawaiians registered voters expressed support for the telescope, while 23% were against and 5% were undecided. Supporting science and educational programs are also highly stressed in the project. Sylvia Dalby, a Honolulu civil beat writer that currently lives in Hilo, announces that TNT has launched the Hawaii Island Knowledge Think Fund to better prepare Hawaii Island students to master STEM and thrive in the 21st century economy. The program focuses on students in STEM and contributes $1 million a year in scholarships and grants while putting an emphasis on improving opportunities for Native Hawaiian students, not as an exclusive precedent, but focusing on the needs of Hawaii's host culture. The Think Fund also provides benefits for STEM programs, endowments, classrooms, and educators in STEM. Lastly, TNT contributes to a lot of funding for the Akamai program, which is a program that provides college students with summer internships at observatories and high-tech companies in Hawaii. The program fosters advanced education for Hawaii students. 80% graduated from a Hawaii high school or were born in Hawaii, and increased participation of underrepresented and underserved populations in STEM. The TNT team strives to target various demographics of students ranging from kindergarten to their senior year to college. They're committed to helping students to become successful in future STEM careers, to thrive for the future of Hawaii's economy. Native Hawaiians also stress the values of their ancestors. Mailani Neal, a Hawaiian TNT supporter and an astronomy student, that mentioned that one of the things that she has taken from the Hawaiian culture is that my ancestors, they were all very curious about the ongoing interactions around them in nature.
Hello.
So this is a way to extend that, and we're extending it across the sea and across the sky to the universe. Neil and many others see the telescope as a source of exploration. It is a way to connect to their ancestors and that they also possess the same curiosity for the natural world around them. She believes the construction of the telescope could bring back this appreciation and sense of wonder. Hawaiian students can further benefit from this as they learn about the heritage and how important exploration of the stars were to the ancestral Native Hawaiian people for navigation on the ocean. The 30-meter telescope has and will continue to do its best to support educational programs that will teach Hawaiian genealogy and science and listen to the community at the same time. Astronomy has supported the Hawaiian economy since the 1960s. After the devastating disaster in Hilo on the Big Island, they established astronomy on the island as a main source of economy. Over the years, there's an average of $88.09 million annual astronomy-related spending in the state. Currently, astronomy in Hawaii supports the employment of 1,313 residents and had a total economic impact of $221 million on the state in 2019. Additionally, the TNT will create a variety of job opportunities for Hawaiian residents. They acknowledge that during the 8 to 10-year construction timeline, TNT will create about 300 local and specialized construction jobs. Once the telescope is completed, TNT will expend about $26 million annually in observatory operations and employ about 140 employees. These employment opportunities will help further boost the Hawaiian economy, not to mention the involvement of businesses to work on a variety of factors when maintaining this telescope. Moreover, the TNT team will ensure that they will follow the necessary guidelines for the telescope to be built on the sacred island. Jessica Terrell, a deputy editor at Civil Beat, notes that other 13 telescopes on Mauna Kea, all built on public land leased to the University of Hawaii for $1 a year, and then subleased for another $1. TNT is different from the other exploitative projects because they will be paying $300,000 annual lease rent, which will increase incrementally to 1 million to when it's operational. Other telescopes built on Mauna Kea do not pay fair leases, but the TMT organization is willing to pay a fair price and respect the Hawaiians who own the land. In addition to paying $1 million, they'll give 20% of the lease rent to provide for their programs and goals. They make sure that they're contributing to managing Mauna Kea as well as maintaining connections to the Office of Hawaiian Affairs. The 30-meter telescope has deeply researched the formats of the mountain and what location would be best for the observatory. That to consider the cultural sites, burials, endangered species, and shrines. Luckily, they found the best placement for it to be the Northern Plateau because of its lack of cultural or biological aspect. The plan also comments on the concerns from Native Hawaiians that no more development on the summit of Mauna Kea and its Pu'u volcano cone should be considered and that these cultural areas need to be protected. The TMT team ensures that there will be constant monitoring for these sites during the construction to make sure that they do not negatively affect the island. Most Hawaiians want Mauna Kea to be known for its cultural significance and the homes of the gods. As a result, they're concerned about the overall image of Mauna Kea. But since TNT will be only vaguely visible from 14% of the island, or where 15% of the island population resides, it is not visible from culturally sensitive sites such as Lake Waiau and the overall image of the volcano. In addition, the main concern is how it will affect the primary source of drinking water in the island, groundwater. Fortunately, the location of the TMT is approximately 12 miles away in Waikiki Branch along Saddle Road. This is the closest underground well to the telescope, and since it is a far distance from the aquifer, it will be unlikely for the observatory to affect the water supply at all. The zero discharge wastewater system that the TMT team will implement sends all the contaminated water to its treatment and disposal facility. The organization goes above and beyond to serve as a model for sustainability while preserving the beauty of cultural practice areas, temples, and historical artifacts. People against the construction of the 30-meter telescope argue that the land is sacred and should not be disrespected. There's a strong common belief that the TMT disregards indigenous people's voices. Sejal, an astrophysicist, author, and science communicator, comments that the outcome is inevitable as it was at Standing Rock, and there's little difference between science-hungry astronomers and profit-hungry oil pipelines builders. The reason that matter what the telescope is used for, the desecration of sacred land is prevalent. There's no difference between the two professions because of their selfishness. They use land that is not theirs to their advantage. In addition, every one of the telescopes on Mauna Kea has always insisted that it would be the last. In a YouTube short film, Where Mauna Kea, viewers get to listen to reasons why Native Hawaiians are so strongly against the construction of the TMT. One of the protectors reasoned that those who allowed the first telescope to be built in 1968 was going to be the only telescope. Again, 13 telescopes later, many of those telescopes have been the last telescope. Indigenous Hawaiians fear that the newest telescope would be built on broken promises. Every time a telescope gets built on their most precious territory, they do not have the opportunity to say no, unable to affect the outcome. The sentiments of the Native Hawaiian protectors of Mauna Kea are very valid, crucial, and essential in Hilo and Hawaii. However, TMT serves as an opportunity to advance the community and its future generations. The limitless opportunities provided to young children and advancing students in college have never been done by any other telescope on Mauna Kea. Additionally, the connotation that the people are working as science-hungry astronomers is simply untrue. Mailani Neal points out that scientists have been working for an observatory for 10 plus years, and this is what they call home. As scientists, but also residents of Hawaii, there are people who truly care for the community and have spent many years of their lives working towards a better future. Again, 72% of Hawaiian supporters show how excited people are bridging the gap between the past and future of Hawaii, revolutionizing discoveries and their ancestors' important value of exploration. The concern of Mauna Kea having too many telescopes would also be resolved. The new draft master plan implemented by UH's University of Hawaii's objectives call for no more than 9 telescopes on the summit after 2033, and not all new telescopes would be as large as the TMT. This will also make room for the TMT as there will be less damage to Mauna Kea once they restore the conditions from previous telescopes. Since the TMT is not built on the summit, it would not be distracting to the visual appearance of the mountain. The 30-meter telescope team has ensured all of the requests taken from the Native Hawaiian organization and groups will be a requirement when building the telescope. Despite the ancestral importance in Mauna Kea, the economic benefits, precautionary measures, and communication with the Native Hawaiian community have the potential to benefit the current/future residents in Hawaii. Building the 30-meter telescope on Mauna Kea will not only let scientists understand the universe more deeply, but it will also assist future generations. Demonstrations at Mauna Kea are due to what people consider the most valuable to them. However, the pros outweigh the cons greatly because of the breakthrough of astronomical discovery and the effort the TMT put in to ensure there are no conflicts. They're also committed to removing at least 5 telescopes by 2032 to make space for the TMT telescope. Although Native Hawaiians should have the right to uphold the traditions and protecting the mountain, the telescope will change views of the universe around the world forever. Thank you.